Good morning, AV addicts. Well, here we are, bright and early at Goodwood Revival 2025 on the Friday. Hopefully we'll get to film a few aviation items today. Completely missed the dawn patrol. Looked like a couple of Hurricanes and a Spitfire because it's of course the 85th anniversary. You'll note I'm wearing my stupid hat because it's kind of nice to come slightly vintage, so I'm wearing a Peaky Blinders hat today. Anyway, let's go and see what we can find and see you shortly.
It's manic, absolute manic here. That's brilliant. Look at this. Lots and lots of lovely camper vans. Very nice. Cool. Look at those. And even a police one. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? Fantastic. Beautiful. This looks like a definite pit stop for later. Look at that. That's a beautiful coffee stop. So that's brilliant. Anyway, there's lots to do here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and look at the aircraft park and across the track. So let's see what we can see. Yeah, it's a great place to go. Don't want to start off with a negative, but I'm going to just say one thing. It's very, if you've just got a standard ticket, which is, I don't know, £95, I think mine cost for Friday, it gets you, it is good value, but there's an awful lot of places you can't go. So for instance, if you want to take decent photographs, you have to walk further around the track. They do have these tractors taking people around, which is good. It's quite a nice walk, but it's just worth remembering that there are things to sort out. You do have these big screens as well, but if you come to an event like this, you really want to see it live. Rather embarrassingly, I've lost my car twice at Goodwood Revival, so hopefully with the advent of watery words and a little bit more common sense and less excitement, hopefully this year I won't have lost mine. I'll try and give you more tips for the first timer. Obviously one thing, if you've got kids, you might want to bring them some headphones just to keep it a little bit quieter for their ears. So here we have the first decent aircraft content. I missed the dawn patrol. That's normally about 7:30 to 8, maybe even 8 o'clock, but unfortunately I was still getting a coffee at Tim Hortons. But here we've got the P-47 Thunderbolt. This has been in the UK for a couple of years now. It had previously been here as No Guts, No Glory in 78th fighter group colours. You can get fairly close to them, but they will be putting the wires, the strings up shortly. I think what we'll do is we'll be a bit cheeky, and because they haven't put them up yet, we'll have a look around. When it was in No Guts, No Glory colour, it was fantastic, particularly fantastic. Now it's in these colours, which are still beautiful, don't get me wrong. It's absolutely wonderful to see such a beautiful aircraft in the skies. One of the heaviest fighters in World War II. Probably single-seater wise, obviously, sorry, to be a bit more specific. So you've got some lovely views. It's a beautiful aircraft, operated from Saigon, I believe, but I did see it at Duxford yesterday when I was there, which was nice to see. So I'm trying to avoid other people in the shots. You'll see if you come in as early as this, so now we're at 9 o'clock and the aircraft are still covered. So that's the P-47. I think we're going to have a look at the big old radial engine, because that's always nice to go and see. You'll see lots of people around in nice period costumes as well, which is cool. So you've got this great big radial engine. Absolute gorgeous aircraft. Lovely to see. Here we have a nice Foxmoth. So you can see the pilots had the cabin at the back, and then you had the passengers in this little cabin down here. Single engine aircraft. Must have been quite tasty doing with its performance, or should I say lack of it, with so many people in, but absolutely sweet. These are all in for a contest basically, which is the Freddie March trophy. I believe it's going to be well, I don't believe, there's not many aircraft to be honest, unfortunately. We'll have a quick look in the cockpit because that would be rude not to. So you can see it says aerobatics and spins prohibited. You can also see a nice little window so you can go and keep talking to your passengers, which is always good, keep them happy. Not sure the in-flight service was much on these aircraft, but this one is absolutely gorgeous, and to be honest would probably get my vote here because often people love warbirds, but it's nice to actually see something as beautiful as this. So I think we'll go and have another look in the cockpit from the other side, because we ain't going to be able to do this later, so we might as well do it now. So once the wires go up, that's it. So you can see very rudimentary controls. There's the stick being held aft, which would be for wind and stuff like that, and you can see it's very rudimentary. Apparently it's got a lot of side slip at the moment, which is interesting. And then you've got the passenger compartment, which is safe, actually sitting backwards, which is good. Here we have a sweet Messenger, which is made by Miles. Quite a rare aircraft in the skies. I believe Monty, Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery, had one of these that he would go and fly around and look at D-Day and the Normandy invasion. So that's another nice cockpit. You can see this is quite comfy, so you've got effectively two pilots, room for two more. Again, a single engine aircraft. Very nice though. So, quick walks around that before we get thrown off, which I fear is not going to be long now. So maybe the 4-star is from Montgomery, maybe. I'm sure people will know and can mention it. You can actually fly in, so you can see in the 109, Augusta 109 is flying in, so you get the great and the good flying in those aircraft, which is good. Now this is X4650, owned by the Friedkin family, and particularly Dan Friedkin, 1940. So I was getting mixed up with GAIST, but this is Dan's aircraft. So one of many that he keeps at Duxford, and sometimes at Biggin Hill. But this was rebuilt by Peter Monk at Biggin Hill, and as you can see, it's an absolute beautiful example. Sadly, it's still got its what's it on? The badge on the spinner, which is basically for a de Havilland prop. The early Spitfire spinner. And that's original. It was made by, gotta get this right, Fattorini, which was a badge maker in Birmingham. They made lots of badges during the war, and they're still around. I believe they made a limited run for Spitfires and Spitfires as well. So it's a really nice, lovely little enamel badge. I've got a real one in the collection. A lot of Mark 1s particularly nicely restored. So you can see there's the wheel there, and it's what we tend to call the 5 heart shape wheel. It's pretty sad, I know. You can see the uplock. I'll try and point to it without touching it. Early aircraft had those made of stainless steel, and you've also got the hand starting gears, which is the very nice little data plates that would sit there. Obviously the kidney exhausts and all those other bits that you get in the early Spitfire. We'll just take a quick walk around because there's another freaking Spitfire here, and it'd be nice to go and see that as well. Beautiful clouds for taking photographs as well, so I mustn't forget to do that. I do have videos on aircraft parts as well, and cockpit tours if anyone's interested. If you do like this, like and subscribe. I'm not a big one for sort of making a big deal about it, but I do like to know that some people like some of the videos that we do. Can't pass by without showing you a little bit of detail here. This is the trolley accumulator trolley accumulator socket where you plug in the battery on the little two-wheel trolleys that you tend to see, and you have to twist it round to do it, to actually plug in the accumulator. Yeah, and then got this lovely early aerial as well, and you've also got the IFF aerials here, which goes to the tail, which they didn't always put on Spitfires, but nice little thing for modelers again. There we are. So. This is quite a little rare item. This is an original tail lamp as well. Found one of those in a dump. And there's just a few more little tiny details. Here we have another Freakin' fighter. So Comanche fighters. This is GAIST. It's a Mark 1A Spitfire. Again, it's got the early windscreen, and it's got the early wheels. And this one actually has one of the early upblocks as well, which on the very early Spitfires were stainless steel. So that again is this little item here. So you'd have one on each wheel, and that would lock the wheel in the up position. Made of stainless steel. So it was likely made by Supermarine, that actual part, because of course they used to make seaplanes. Right, okay. So this used to be owned by the Honourable Sir Patrick Lindsay, I believe. Well, I know it was owned by Patrick Lindsay, and whether he was a Sir, that's that. They've now taken the canopy cover off, which is really good. So again, you've got a really nice early windscreen. So that's what we call the external type Spitfire windscreen. And you've also got the DV knockout panel. See on the side of the canopy. That's the later regulator. A lot of these aircraft have gone to 24 volt. They've been 12 volts originally. Again, it's they've got a particular desire to make these things as original as possible. Hopefully, we won't get any traffic tickets. Hope we're not going to get any tickets, ladies.
Well, it depends if you break the rules.
Ooh, oh dear.
You think parking or
It's an absolutely beautiful bay in the sun, the early morning sun. You see the gun sight. That's an early gun sight with the oval top, which is nice as well. You've got the headrest as well, which is a very good idea, especially in crashes and things like that. And you've got a crash pad on the front of the gun sight as well. Yeah, I could actually talk about Spitfires forever, so do forgive me if I do go on about it. But looking at this view for modelers, let's do it, try and do it. Get this view for modelers, you can see it's a slab-sided canopy, not the bulged version that the later high-back Spitfires had. As I said, there's the early voltage regulator. Very, very rare item indeed. And the other thing you can see is the nice rear view mirror, and you can see the little Martin Baker made little black ball to the right hand side of the butterflies for pulling the canopy back. Basically that was made by Martin before it was Martin Baker, and has Martin written on the rubber, which is quite cool. I'll see if I can go a bit closer. Probably not, but there we go. Let's see if we can see into the cockpit. Not sure how good that is, but hopefully you can see something nice there. Forgive the helicopters. Here we have this lovely Harvard. This was the pilot maker. As said, can't do a tour on this one because it's still got its cover on. The P-47's still got its cover on, but we've learned that it's one of the most famous Spitfires, MH434, which is still the Hanna family's old flying machine company. She is over the other side, so we're going to find our way over there. It has to be said that every year there are more and more of these corporate tents springing up in areas. Here we seem to have Captain Jack Sparrow. So this is always lovely to see. This is the Spitfire Academy that's here, and you've got City of Exeter, which I love because she's all painted up with invasion stripes, how she should be, which was with an old dirty old manky old brush and paint. This model is, with all due respect, is how you should paint your model of a Spitfire. It might look like your 7-year-old did it, but it's nice, it's how it was. Same went for Willys Jeeps as well. They did the numbers on the side with just a white brush. So you can see it really is nicely done like that. So you can do your Spitfire flight here. This is the wonderful silver Spitfire that did the round the world a few years ago. If you haven't seen the video or read the book, do it. It's worth it. It's absolutely fantastic. So now we're 9:30 and you can get a beer. Not bad, eh? So from the beautiful silver Spitfire, you then go up here and they've got a plastic Spitfire hanging up. Unfortunately I haven't worked out how to zoom out on this. When I do, there'll be no stopping me. But this was painted up as the silver Spitfire when I last flew in here. So this is their 2-seater, so you can go flying in this beautiful aircraft as well. It's up in invasion stripes, which is really nice. I think this is SM520, but I'm probably wrong. Let's have a quick stare. Oh no, this is their new one, BS410. So it was originally a single-seater, built up as a 2-seater. You probably can't hear much of what I'm saying because of the racing cars in the background. But again, you can fly from Goodwood on their 2-seater Spitfire, this one, or I believe they have another one. And then what you got here is you've got a Merlin 66 engine, Rolls-Royce Merlin. So very similar to the engine fitted to the Mustang as well. So what you've got is you've got a 12 cylinders, 6 on each side in the V arrangement. Over here we can do a walk around on one of my Merlins, which will probably be easier, but we'll just have a quick whistle stop tour here. So you've got the ancillaries here, vacuum pump for instance, and a constant speed unit for the propeller. You then walk around here, and then because it's a two-stage, 2-speed supercharger, you have a intercooler to cool it down, which gives you higher performance at higher altitude. But it was still normally aspirated, through a carburetor, it wasn't injected. They also do simulator here, so you can fly a very realistic simulator. I used to own 3 of these. Had a rather nasty smashing one, but we try and not talk too much about that. So there's a complete fallacy that they were made of old Messerschmitt fighter parts. It's not true at all, but they were made by the Messerschmitt company at Regensburg. They always have a nice sort of display in the sort of pavilion display, which is like a little bit on the outside like Earl's Court was. So apparently this is Jeff Kuntz, 24 hours BMW. My son is a particular fan of BMWs, so it'd be crazy if I didn't actually film at least one for him. But nice colour. When I was a kid, this was the car that I really wanted. It's a Renault Alpine rally car. Absolutely gorgeous. But enough of those things. More BMWs. This is oh, that's it. These are painted up in arty colours. So this has been painted by David Hockney as some kind of sperm crossed with a cheetah. Not sure what else you call it. But if you like that sort of thing, well, to be honest, it's quite pretty. They seem to be liking painting up BMWs by, I presume, fairly well-known artists. So it's been painted up by, or in the style of, a guy called Ernst Fuchs. Hopefully that's how you pronounce it. Nah, prefer the Hockney car. Ah, okay, it can't be painted up by them, it must be painted up in the style. So here's Roy Lichtenstein. And Frank Stella. Ah, that's very graphical. Oh, I got some more sun out. So here's some various BMW products, including a motorbike. But I am naturally drawn to the Mini. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? It's a nice 60s Mini. It's Alekis Igonis, who's the designer. I probably haven't pronounced that right, but there you have it. Beautiful, nice pretend number plate as well, I presume. Very good. People really get into the spirit of dressing up. So what we've got here, which I'll show you now, looks like something out of Any Which Way But Loose, with some various rockers, which is pretty cool, to be honest. There's a chap definitely there who looks a bit like the leader of the gang in Any Which Way But Loose, like Clyde. Hopefully you'll be able to see some of this stuff, and well, you'll be able to see it, but hopefully you'll be able to hear me a little bit. Otherwise I'll have to dub some proper words on it, but I kind of like the noise of the stuff behind. They're doing a tribute to Jim Clark, the amazing Jim Clark Formula 1 driver, sadly taken from us very early. So there's also all sorts of lovely cars here. I'm going to see if I can find some of his. Now this is a Jim Clark celebration car here. So it's a Lotus. There we are. This has got his name on it, so it must be one of his cars. 99. I've actually got a model of this car, so I'm being a bit of a plonker. So you can imagine this is an absolutely stunning car. Beautiful. Look at that. To think that great man drove this car. Beautiful. Anyway, we're working our way down to look at some more aeroplanes. But a lot of aeroplane enthusiasts tend to love cars as well. So hopefully we'll be out on the track to see this whipping around later and take some photographs. This is quite cool with the bomb trolley, original bomb trolley and tractor as well, Fordson tractor. And then also you've got a motorbike and an MG TA, I suppose, which would have been a typical Spitfire or Hurricane, or indeed fighter pilot's car, or indeed bomber pilot. My grandfather would have had something quite fun like that as well, so as a Catalina pilot. Anyway, let's move on. One of the best parts of Goodwood is the sort of reenactors as well of all the years. So you've got this beautiful Fordson again, bomb tractor, and then you've got an original setup here with these lovely, I thought that was a £500 bomb, to be honest. But anyway, that's with the bombs. It's more realistic than the other ones. This is done as a squadron dispersal. If you're going to have a milkshake, have it from a vehicle like this. Look at that. It's absolutely brilliant. Everything here is sort of vintage. So those look really nice. They actually look more like just ice creams, but that's still good. And then what we got is we've got to walk up to this beautiful GP DUKW, known as the Duck. So it's floating, used by the Allies, and a lot of them ended up in places like Seattle for taking people around the Puget Sound and things like that. And so really, really cool vehicle. We'll walk to the end of it. Seems to be advertising the Wings Museum, which is another one that we're going to have to go and visit. So I've been threatening to go and see them for years, and I really don't have any excuse. So you can see it's a floating boat, as it were. And then down here, it has the propeller. So propeller driven. 2. Lots of people will walk past the bar's name and not even think twice about why it would be called this. But basically, Billy Fisk was a very, very brave American who was fought in the Battle of Britain, and I believe he flew from Tangmere, and he was quite wealthy, and he was also an Olympian bobsleigh, I believe, before the war. So he was quite an amazing man. I believe he came from New York, and basically he was flying Hurricane. He was with what I think was called Millionaires Squadron. I want to say 607. I'll probably be wrong because I'm always have to. It's a law, I have to have something wrong in all my videos. But the thing that is right is he was a very brave man, and he scrambled during a bombing raid, I believe, and he came down. He was injured. He seemed to be fine for a day or so, and then died, possibly from shock-related thing. But he should be as much of a household name as any member of the few. But that was Billy Fisk. Google him. You'd be amazed about his amazing story. Lots of live music. So, like the Andrews Sisters.
Then you know that Tennessee is not very far. Shovel on the cold and gotta keep it rolling. Woo-woo, Chattanooga, there you are. There's gonna be a certain party at the station. Saturday place. I used to call funny face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that I'll never roll. So Chattanooga, choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Hello everybody, we are the Memphis Bells and we will be on from 10:30. You've just caught a little bit of our sound check there. We will be dressed far more glamorously in about 25 minutes time. Hopefully.
So here we have another of Jim Clark's cars, the Porsche. This basically illustrates the fact that he did race in all sorts, not just Formula One. For me, one of the most beautiful cars ever, the D-Type Jaguar. So again, this is for the Jim Clark celebration. Doesn't have the fin you normally see. Second seat as well. Isn't that beautiful? Nice old buses for the bus enthusiast. Who can't be a bus enthusiast? Okay, these are the Jim Clark cars. I really wish I could zoom in, but let's listen to them. Discussed earlier, he did drive an awful lot of different cars, including Lotus Cortinas. He did drive in various races as well. Tune into the proper Goodwood stuff to find out more about this. This is Friday and it's absolutely hissing down with rain. There's an awful smell of castor oil. Okay, this red car, apparently he drove it as well, this Lotus Cortina. Never raced it, but actually drove it. This is a beautiful D-Type that we saw earlier. Beautiful D-Type Jaguar. So there you have it, and I think this is a Lotus Elan coming up as well. Nice little gold one at the end. It's still raining, so I'm going to have to put this away. It doesn't like the rain. So there you have it. That's the end of another one of our recordings and one of our vlogs. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. As usual, please have a look at what we're doing, and if you want us to do anything else, just get in contact or tell me what you would like to see and we'll try and do it. Also, if I've done something wrong or said something wrong or inaccurate, please do correct me in the comments. Cheers and fly safely.